So, sitting here with my dogs, and listening to music as always. Smoking and clearing my thoughts. Figured I'm gonna start going live more, cause why not? Why not just get to know get to know everybody more. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out and say what's up. But with everything going on nowadays, I mean, it's important to get talking. It really is. It's important to really just But yeah, right now, I got everything going on between the music. Obviously, I'm doing the religious thing. I'm actually really proud to see everybody, like, the mix I'm seeing between Islam and Christianity, because with me personally, I never really wanted to change anybody's religion. Your culture, your respect for the higher power, that means the world to me, okay? We all have different backgrounds, we all have different ethnicities, we all have different histories, we all have different cultures, and what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to erase any of that, just to be honest with you guys. And it's important now because when you have politicians that are taking advantage of their position and they're protected by police who are noble people, they're just misguided and tricked. So they're protecting people, they're unaware of their ethical decisions, or they just refuse to accept it. And then when children get hurt, they're going to church, or at least they want to go to church, and when they go and they try and talk to someone to find a place of comfort to get closer to God, they get trauma they get trauma on top of trauma, and then they lose faith even more. So it's really important to me all around to figure this out, because kids need to be safe. There's no debate, there's no argument there. We all want children to be safe, okay? So since we all want children to be safe, since God loves innocence, since God loves children more than anything, and not in the sick, perverted way like these people like to pretend, we need to come together as a society, as a people. We need to acknowledge what's important, and what's important is protecting our young. Our young is the future. If we traumatize the young and ignore them, we're not going to have an easy future, because at the end of the day, we take care of them while they're young, and then they take care of us while we're old. So what we don't want is we don't want a bunch of angry people looking at us saying, well, all you did was give us hardship, and now we don't really want to look after y'all. So, remember, what goes around comes around. And it's really important to me that we find a way. It's not about war. It's not about fighting. It's not about anything other than just coming together. Yes, in order to come together, we have to not be able to be divided, which means we have to have strength and unity, and we're not going to do that without faith. So it's very important that we find common terms. It's very important that we find common ground, because if we're indivisible, then our intention will go where it's needed to go. And if our attention is going where it's needed to go, then Everybody is accounted for. Everybody's looked after. And we don't have these manipulation and distraction and scare tactics making sure that people are being lost and left behind. So as long as we can figure out a way to where everyone's just accounted for, but we have privacy and we have respect, transparency is truly the way. Because after everything that's happened throughout the past, however long you want to say, you can say hundreds of years, you can say a couple months, but our generation has woken up. We're totally deprived of the truth, and we're truth seekers. We want to know what happened. We want to know what happened to our culture. We want to know what happened to our history. We want to know what happened to our families that have been erased off the map. We want to know why we've been taught certain things that we know aren't true, and we want to know why we haven't been taught certain things that we know are true. And yes, we're not stupid, so we can see that it's for greed. We can see that people wanted to take some power that wasn't rightfully theirs. We can see that we've been tricked and manipulated. But now we want closure. We want comfort. We want to move on. And we're not going to do that if these people who created this situation get to just act like it didn't happen, move behind the scenes, come back in 4 years and start World War III all over again because it didn't work this time. Okay? That's all they do. If it doesn't work, they come back, they let you get tired, and they try again. Okay? But they're not going to stop unless we completely stop out this fire, guys. So yes, I do need to focus on myself, and I do that. My mental health, you can look at me, you can see that I'm getting healthier by the day if you've been paying attention to my videos. I meditate, my mind has gotten so much more healthy, my body has gotten so much more healthy, I feel amazing, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, my worry has completely depleted, and yes, I'm completely grateful, humbled, and I'm very much praising God, okay? There's nothing else really to say. There's nothing really else to give the credit to. Yes, I've done a lot of things. Yes, I submitted. Yes, I did things that make me feel as though I'm earning or maybe that I'm more worthy. But at the same time, I'm not more worthy than anybody else. I just paid my dues. I just said, hey, what's going on with these children isn't fair. Somebody needs to do something, and since nobody else will, I guess that means I have to. Because when you see a way to fix all these problems in society and you don't do it, not only makes you a coward, but it means that you failed society. Because at the end of the day, if you have the ability to fix things like this and you don't do it, you failed yourself as well as you failed society. Because we all have jobs, we all have things that we have to do, we all have reasons for being. And for me, what was more important to me than anything was when I was a young age, I wanted to fix the pain that caused me. I didn't have much of a childhood. I didn't get to really get involved with the things that most people got to get involved. I didn't know my family very much, and I was slightly jealous of that, okay? But what that meant was, it meant I connected with the community. It meant I connected with the people around me. It meant because I didn't have blood to connect with, I connected with water, okay? And I got to really learn the community's pain. I got to really see what was going on for real, because it's hard to hear the stories that people don't want to talk about, and they have to get comfortable with you. They have to believe that you've been in similar situations. They have to believe that you're not going to judge them. And I never wanted to judge anybody. I just wanted to understand, because if I understood, I could do something about it. And at the end of the day, what was going on out here, what is going on out here, what they're proceeding to try to continue to make going on out here is treacherous. And I care about you guys. I care about you guys exponentially more than I do care about myself. So at the end of the day, going against multiple agencies of government, going against anybody, that's not a problem to me personally, because when I realized that I might not be able to continue fighting this fight of nobility, continue fighting this fight of trying to save kids, save parents from overdoses, you know, I see police out here, they're fighting the same fight as though they feel, but whenever something real needs to happen, they'll tell you, well, it's the job, I have superiors, we have to go within the system. And I totally get that and I respect that, but right now, with the way that things are currently, we need men who are willing to do things unorthodox to save these children, because these people have been very creative in making sure that we're handicapped in any traditional method. So when I realized that this not only affected all the children in America, when I realized that this not only affected all the parents in America, when I realized that this was across the globe, this is apartheid, this is the Native Americans who were separated from tribal, this is literally every racism, this is divide and conquer, and it's been going on since before electricity even existed, which means there's nothing in current day media that's not going to back up whatever they're preaching, okay? So you have to understand this, and when you understand this, you get the ability to question everything, and that's all you have to do. Ask questions, okay? When we ignore things, it goes into a dark crevice in our brain, and when we ask those questions, it enlightens it. And when you actually ask questions with every memory you have, that's a way to achieve enlightenment. But you have to accept the good and the bad. Okay, you can't just accept the good or else you ignore the bad. It grows in a dark room and it comes back 1,000 times stronger. So you have to be able to accept it all, process it all, let it all go. You know, God's law is to meditate once a day, once at night. In the morning, you set your goals. You set what you want to do. At night, you reflect. You say, how did this come about? Did this work? Do I want to keep, did I learn? What did I learn? What do I want to keep? What do I want to let go? But when we come across other people, we get their energy and it connects to us. So when we meditate and we silence our head, we let go of everybody else for a moment and we get in tune with ourselves. We still remember everything. We're still attached, but we don't have these urges pulling us 6 different directions because of 6 different people with 6 different wants. We know everything. We get in tune with ourselves. We calculate, and everything just goes so much smoother when you're in control of your emotions. And with the way that society has gotten so crazy nowadays, you have to be in control of your emotions. We see what's going on at protest, okay? If you're not in control of your emotions at protest, they're going to make us look like fools, and this is not going to work, okay? We know that CIA, we know that these agencies have no problem going out there starting problems and making it look like we're bad people. So we have to be extremely in control, extremely apparent to show that we want this to be peaceful, because if it's not peaceful, it's not going to be recognized. We're going to look emotionally weak, we're going to look stupid, we're not going to win if we can't do this with peace. With that being said, we can't be afraid to get our hands dirty. These people have done very good ways of protecting themselves. Their kids are in colleges. That's why it's very great that we're protesting at colleges, okay? My father, ex-military, I know that they have missiles that are pointed at every city in America, and if there's ever too much of an uprising in any one city, they will straight blow it off the map. So what that means is if we want to have real peaceful protests, if we want to really do this without them just destroying us, it has to be spread out. We have to come together quicker than they can stomp it out. We have to do it for real, or else it's not going to be done. We see what's going on in the progress with robotics. We see what's going on with artificial intelligence. Do not think for 1 second that once they can get it to where we can't fight back, to where they could make us autonomous, to where they could make us robots and actually have a slave force that can't say no, don't think for 1 second that they won't wipe us out. Okay? There's no reason, when you look at the greed that they have, when you look at what they've done to children, when you look at the wars that they've started, when you look at everything they've done in the name of money, do not think for 1 second that if they can get more control, they won't do it. These people are power hungry, and this is way bigger than money. This is lives, this is souls, this is energy. And the thing is, we have the opportunity. This is never too late, okay? We're still here. Social media, as much as they have people that are evil, we have people that are good. We have angels that are in their systems that are making sure they never get too far. We have people that care so much more about saving the people than they care about destroying the people. Love will always win because we care so much more than they hate, guys. But you can't be scared. You can't be scared to love. You can't be scared to be honest. If you let them divide us with any manipulation, with any fear, they win. We've seen it happen time and time again. Okay? When a police officer murders an innocent civilian, I know many police officers that get upset about that just as we do, but they can't say anything because their brothers in blue are going to look at them some type of way, or they feel as though they can't, but they're not happy with this either. And when I talk to police, the one thing that they will tell you is they're never okay with seeing children that are hurt. So their superiors know this, and they try and make us look bad because they say that we're ODing with fentanyl and stuff. And yes, there are plenty of trauma victims that are out there that are overdosing, and it's not a good environment for the kid. But when the politicians are the ones selling them the drugs, when they're literally made so they're in balance, so random people will die, so their kids will go to foster care, so they can traumatize the kids from there, okay, we have a greater problem than the drug supply. Also understand that when these people get hurt by the politicians, when they need somewhere to go, they're not able to talk to the doctor because the doctor thinks they're crazy, so they go to the street. When they go to the street to buy the bag because they're so traumatized, they don't trust police, they don't trust politicians, they don't trust anybody because they've been taught not to, and then they either die or they overdose and they're labeled a bad person because they were seeking help and no one could help them. Look at Mac Miller, okay? Mac Miller died from a fentanyl perk, alright? That shows you that no matter how much money you have, you're not safe. And also, look at 13 Reasons Why. That blew up. But do you know who's a producer of 13 Reasons Why? Selena Gomez, okay? Mac Miller's ex. It's very possible that Mac Miller was begging for somebody to listen. It's very possible that all of these children in Hollywood, like Chester Bennington, like a lot of my favorite artists that I really love that had passion, like Kurt Cobain, okay? It's so possible that these people tried to get help, weren't recognized, and just decided it wasn't worth living anymore because no one cares. And that breaks my heart, okay? When I watched Surviving R. Kelly and I saw these two beautiful parents from Baltimore that had a 14-year-old girl that R. Kelly took, and I'm looking at it, okay, and I see that, like, obviously he's protected by people in Baltimore. We all know Baltimore's really dirty. We also know it's 45 minutes from the capital, D.C., okay? So I'm wondering, I'm like, how is he getting away with this? But this, you know, then I think the Epstein client list, and I'm like, they never even released that. And R. Kelly, yes, I think R. Kelly was mentally handicapped. I totally think he was used, mind you. At the same time, they let him come out with the biggest gospel song, and I'm sure they helped him write it, because at the end of the day, it makes us all denounce God. It makes us all say, oh, God, there's no way that this would be. But you see what they do in Bohemian Grove. You see there's proof of satanic activity. So if they're able to make us lose faith in God while they do nothing but praise Satan, guess what? We're at where we're at today. And personally, I would let people have the issues that are bestowed upon them because it only feels right, but we're getting down to the kids now. We're getting down to literally all these children, all these little people that just don't have a voice, that are crying to God because they either want to die, they want this to end, they want to know why no adult cares about them to speak up. And that's exactly what God wants to know. He wants to know why your family is more important than the rest of the kids of the world. He wants to know why nobody else stood up. Because I'm telling you, yes, I was at fault too. I was distracted. The moment that I pieced together everything going on, trust and believe, I put myself to the side and said, let's go. Okay? And I know many other people were distracted as well. I know that many other people fit in that same boat. I'm not saying that I'm special on that, but what I am saying, guys, if you see something now, if you see what's going on, it is your responsibility as God's child. Screw the law, screw everything else. As a child of God, it is your responsibility to stick up for these kids, okay? It is your responsibility to say, hey, we are all one race. We care about all of us, and 8 billion people are more important than me and the 3 people I care about, okay? If everybody thought like that, we would have got these problems out the way long time ago. And what I'm telling you guys is literally this can be everything we ever want. We can end world hunger. Everyone can smile if needs are met, and we all focus on wants after nobody has needs. Society is going to progress at a rate that is unheard of, okay? And that's the point. Right now we have so much waste of potential. I know so many people in prison that, yes, they made mistakes, but they were never guided. They were never taught. All they ever wished for was to be loved, and every time they tried, they were just labeled a monster. They were never able to get away from their past, and it just did nothing but drag them down and keep them labeled as a bad person when all they did was yearn to connect with society, to do good, and they've been shown that it was impossible. And then it's like, okay, well, I got all this intensity, all these feelings, and I'm going to make somebody feel them anyway since nobody cares. And I see it time and time again. But what that means is we have all these passionate people that could be contributing to society, and numerous ways, okay? Like, literally, like these people are brilliant. You can go through, you can see my programming history, you can see a lot of stuff that I've personally done by myself without being taught. There's a lot of people around me that are just as smart. They're just not motivated because they've been taught not to care. That's another problem, okay? We have the older generation that's focused on voting, and that's great, but they've been completely manipulated and lied to, while the younger generation has been completely traumatized, so they have no faith in the political system whatsoever, which means you only have older people that are completely taken away from society, that have no grasp of current day values, and they're speaking for everybody, while the younger people just believe that everything's a lie. They don't have trust in anything, and that's literally textbook equation for a civil war. Okay? We have way too much division. We have way too much anger. We have way too much difference of opinion. And the thing is, difference of opinion is good. That's controversy. That's where we're starting up. That means the questions are being asked. It means that we can possibly get on a common ground because we're working toward it. But also understand that these are things that matter. These are lives. These are people. Everyone should have food or access to food. Yes, not everyone deserves a mansion because people put in the work, but no one deserves to be outside in the cold on a bench either, okay? I have no issue with capitalism. I have no issue with working towards things and creating a better life. That's actually the beauty of life, is being able to work for what you want and create your own. But when people don't have needs met, it's not right, because those people are struggling so hard just to get food, just to try and keep rent, okay? They're not able to tap in society. They're not able to get a moment of rest. They're dying from stress. They're dying from depression. I broke so much law growing up because I had people that were dying from depression, and they're dead now, okay? I'm 28 years old. They're dead. I knew they weren't going to make it if I didn't figure something out, and the unfortunate reality is I didn't, okay? Now, I'm blessed as in the faith that they died for y'all. They sacrificed for y'all. I didn't know Daniel was a prophet. I didn't know that I was Zeus and Jesus. I didn't know that Casper was death, okay? I didn't know that this was biblical. I've had hunches, I've seen possibilities, you know what I mean? But, like, it's a bit of a crazy thing to just grasp. So, like, that wasn't something I was really clinging on to. But at the same time, what I did know was that, my cousin committed suicide when I was very young. And at the same time, my mom's side, that's on my dad's side, that's the native side, that's the olive and the moles. On the green-eyed, the part that's akin to Hitler, obviously Hitler burned himself on fire, committed suicide, which it didn't work out. So I am passionate enough that this means enough to me that, like, those kids are so much more important than me, okay? And I saw an abundance of pain when I was a child, so no, I wasn't suicidal, but it was like, instead of having suicidal tendencies, instead of praying to die or whatever, I'm going to pray to change this. I want to see a better world before I do pass. Yes, death is my God-given right, and I'm excited for it when the time comes, but it's not me, it's not my right to tell God when that time is. This is life, and everything has a reason. I personally believe that we are in the only dimension that is spiritually unavailable. I think that there are plenty of higher dimensions, and I think that all of them have access to spirits, and I think that we're getting connected to them. A lot of people have the same theory, but the thing is, we have to earn it. We have to show these spirits that we're able to believe in peace, that we're able to come together. They don't want war. The higher dimensions you get, the more power there are, but the more understanding there is. They don't want war. They'll kill us off as a species before they'll let us destroy their home, and understand that part of it. So it's like, in order to interconnect, in order to love, we have to show that we're sophisticated enough to handle simple problems. We have to show that we're able to drop off that greed that serves no purpose other than destroying society as a whole. We wouldn't be parasitic. We wouldn't be a parasitic species if we didn't do the things we did. We have an option to be a healthy species, to really work with Mother Earth, to really love the things around us. That is totally our option as a people. And I will say this, I see a lot of big influencers. reiterate what I say. I see a lot of religious, followers on Twitter. They go and take what I say and they'll requote it in older books and stuff like that. I absolutely love it, okay? Because even though I personally think God does want my face with my words strictly so somebody else can't put their face on my word, and also the fact that people are listening, the fact that people are preaching, the fact that people are doing their own work, that means so much more to me personally, okay, just to be honest with you, because this is about everyone being more educated. This is about the love. This is about coming together. If God wanted you all to just only do good when God was here, we wouldn't be trying to get you all to do amazing when he's not, okay? Stop! Shut up! We wouldn't be trying to get you all to do amazing when he's not. We want to know that no matter the amount of power, love, respect you have, that you're going to do the same amount of good behind closed doors than you are when you're in front of the kingdom. So it's important to us that everyone really learns how to love, that everyone really learns how to respect, that everyone really learns how to forgive, that everyone really learns how to come together, because at the end of the day, this is so much more important than the things we're seeing in front of us right now. And I think at this point, we actually truly all know that. I don't even think that's a secret anymore. I think that everybody's been feeling connection to something bigger than us. We've all, I feel at this point, gotten messages, or, some people might be ignoring messages still. I'm sure that that's, plenty probable, but I see the way that people are coming together. I see the way the conversations are being had. Go! Stop! I see the way the conversations are being had, and I absolutely love it. Like, you all couldn't be having me more proud right now, because at the end of the day, it starts with conversation, it starts with declassification, and things don't happen overnight. Yes, I would love to snap my fingers and have everything be great, but I'm well aware that's not how life works. I went to court the other day, and, I didn't get picked up by the feds. That was wonderful. It was a civil case, but, they do that type of stuff. So I actually felt a really good positive aura when I was there. That was very surprising. It was just district court, mind you, but still, I didn't feel any hatred. I didn't feel any, angry eyes glaring on me, so that was pretty cool. And it's just the thing is, Baltimore, right? I would go to Baltimore my whole life, and you go there and it's like one of those horror movies to a degree, or you go to, it's just like there's a creepy shadow feeling all the time, right? Like Jack the Ripper type, London type stuff. And over the last month when I go there, over the last 2 months, it's not like that. People are happy, they're smiling, they give you a hug, it's not the Baltimore I've known for the 28 years of my life. And I love Baltimore, I love the people, but, we've all been tired, we've been exhausted, we all look around like we're king of the jungle, because at the end of the day, we all feel like we've been at war our whole lives. So, when I go around the city and I see the forgiveness, I drove around D.C., I blessed D.C. for a while the other day, because, guys, stop! Because I really enjoy just, feeling the light energy when I go around, and I can see it grow. I manipulate light, and I do everything I can to grow the light, because I really just, I feel the difference. I see people smile more. I see the, when I go certain places, it magnetically attracts me. In DC, there's a lot of energy in DC, okay? There's a lot of energy in DC. And one of the things that I personally have noted is, I really do think that Maryland is God's land, okay? And I say that because we have beaches 2 hours away, we got mountains 2 hours away, we got farmland within an hour, we got terrain. It's very, it's just all environment is very close. With the mountains that we have blocked and everything, we really don't get hit by tornadoes and hurricanes. It's very well just geographically placed, and I just see where we have the beauty of everything. I see where it's very well protected, and I personally think that it's just, there's so much potential here. You go around Baltimore and all these benches are falling apart, but they say greatest city in America. This is a port, this is a dock. I see houses, a couple of years ago, I'm riding around, I see houses vacant all the time, $2,000-$3,000. I'm looking at my brothers, I think Baltimore's hit a bottom. I'm like, I don't see anywhere else it could go. It's one of the first cities in America. I didn't really understand the dark history that I've came to get to know, but at the end of the day, I only got to know this dark history now because it's time to relieve it. It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to say, This is our land. This is God's land. He loves us and He gave this to us. When I was a kid, that whole "this land's your land" thing, I look back on it and I'm like, wow, this land, my land, this land's your land. That's really offensive because this is God's land. But at the end of the day, this is our land because God shares it with us and He gives it to us and He wants us to be a home for all of us. There is no, if everyone can understand that nobody's better than anyone, if anyone can understand that once all the children of the world are at risk, it is everybody's duty to stand up, and if not, then exorcisms and being expelled comes upon, because at the end of the day, if you're not willing to stand up for over 1 billion kids, then I don't really think God wants you in His kingdom. It's just kind of what it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and you can ponder on that, because it's not meant to be mean, it's not meant to make you feel bad, but at the same time, like, these kids truly need help, and it is our job as society to figure this out. I'm not trying to give every answer. That's one thing that I don't want to do. I don't want to just give every single answer. I do want to ask the questions. I'm happy that everybody's gotten the mind state to figure this out, but I want you all to get that rewarding feeling of doing this. You know what I mean? God don't want to just be like, bada bing, bada boom, I fixed all your stuff and mad at everybody. Everybody's done. What I want is, I want everybody to show that even though they were hopeless, it does matter that they're willing to put the work in necessary to right the wrongs. Because at the end of the day, I'm not vain, I'm not misunderstanding, I'm not trying to be mad or angry. I'm trying to move past this as one love, okay? And it is that simple. There's no anger, there's no resentment. Yes, I will make my point. Yes, I will make it rain fish in Iran, and I will make earthquakes, and I will make tornadoes, and until I'm hurt, it's only going to get more severe. But that's because there's kids that need me. That's because there are things that are more important than people's comfort or their happiness. My comfort and happiness hasn't been acknowledged for a very long time, okay? So I don't really feel the need to worry or focus on everybody's feelings when mine have been degraded my entire life. But it doesn't mean I don't care about your future and your success and everything. I've always been protected. I've always been taken care of, even if I wasn't allowed to feel good about it. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm focused on. Because if we just fix these problems, we can feel good forever after that. We don't have to keep feeling bad, guys. We can literally just come together, like John Lennon said. We can, if you study my Twitter, 5,500 posts that I've done in the past 90 days, it's all worldwide therapy. Okay, I studied therapy for like 8 years. That was very important to me. I've given a lot of therapy out in Baltimore because at the end of the day, people need to acknowledge their feelings. There's so much repressed emotions. It eats us up from the inside. It turns us into something else. So I've put an abundance of time on just being able to communicate, being able to connect. That way everybody can truly relieve what bothers them from the inside. And I hope that's apparent and understanding to you. Me and my old brothers, we've constantly had therapy sessions, and a lot of times we would use MDMA or LSD, and it wasn't a daily thing. It was more on like a bi-weekly or maybe monthly thing, but it was so incredibly helpful for PTSD. It really helped us connect with each other. It helped us be understanding. It helped us move past moments that we wouldn't have been able to move past in other ways. And I'm telling you guys, regardless the problem, regardless how big things may seem, regardless how hard they may seem to deal with, regardless how much it may seem like you can't get past this or you can't get past this or whatever it is, I'm telling you, there's always an answer. And one of the first steps truly is, submitting to God's a big one, but, handing your worry and just saying, I have faith. I'm a soldier. I've made it through every other problem in my life, and I'm going to make it through this with the help of the Lord. And I'm telling you, find a way to truly embrace and love the unknown and watch how much it loves you back. You all worry so much about things you can't control. So, ask the entity that can control it for love, help, and understanding. Work on what you can, and just watch everything come together in the name of love, people. All we want is good things for everybody. And there's been a long process of trying to figure this out, because at the end of the day, there's nothing more important than you all, you know. And it's like, if we can really do this for the world, then there's nothing we can't do, okay? And yes, there are some people that really do need to answer to what they've done, such as the Prime Minister of Israel, okay? Such as, you know, it's like, society deserves comfort and closure. We deserve to know that these people have answered to their issues. We deserve to know that this isn't going to happen again. Because at the end of the day, courts are very keen to make us confront ourselves. They're very keen to make us go through the same process. And there's no reason that they should be protected from the system, from the procedures that we have to go through as a people. We are not supposed to be trained and conditioned. We are supposed to be taken with love and understanding. You all, okay, judges, police, lawyers, politicians, you all are the ones that are supposed to be held to a higher freaking standard. Okay? We're not out here being paid as representatives of the protect and serve category. You are, which means when you mess up, it is a huge statement of dishonor and disrespect on your entire system, and the more you mess up, the less we need you, and most certainly the less we want you. Okay? I don't need another man with a badge and a gun to come beat me up and then get away with it when he kills me. We can do that ourselves out here. Okay? I've never watched somebody hurt a woman and said, oh my God, I need a police officer. We take care of that ourselves as men, okay? We don't need y'all. Do you not get that? So act accordingly. Act like you want to belong. Act like you want to be that. Because I'm telling you, I know plenty of men that y'all have issues with that would never let a woman get hurt. That'll never let the same things that you pretend that you wouldn't let happen. I've watched these people stand up for. So we're not one and the same until you're willing to stand by honor in the name of God. And most of you people that wear that police badge won't do it. Yo, Key, shut your mouth! So please understand this, because it's important. It's one of the only things that's important. It's one of the only things that matter. And I really hope that as time goes on, we can really just keep having, you know, I'm excited for the podcast. I'm super excited to do these lives. I'm super excited to do these videos, because I'm telling you all, we're going to make history. We're going to do it together. This is one love, one people. The world needs us. And the truth is, I love y'all. So like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to fade out. I can't just leave y'all to yourself. I don't want to do that. I'm really trying to work this out with y'all. Look at my Twitter. Go through. See everything I posted for the past months. Actually take some time, study, and see that I'm not bluffing. See that everything I've said is coordinated with world events that happen after. And the reason Iran bombed Israel for Jeez Louise sake. Okay, guys, so like, this is nothing but love. But I'm begging y'all, please come together. Please say this, because at the end of the day, if my word and my face don't get attached together, somebody else is going to try and take credit, and it's going to only get uglier and uglier. So I love y'all. Please make sure to follow. I made sure to add my Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram. I'm really going to organize more. I'm really going to collect everything together more, because this is important, okay? This isn't scattered thoughts. I've had a lot of enemies. I've had a lot of stress. I've had a lot of stuff, but I feel amazing now. I'm really ready to get this going at full velocity. I really hope that you are with me. And for real, bless you. Bless you for listening to this. Bless you for watching this. Bless your family, because at the end of the day, if you're here, there is no random, there is no coincidence. It means you're a warrior of light, and it means that you're preparing to really do some amazing work in the name of God. And trust and believe that anyone who does amazing work in the name of God is going to be blessed way more than money, way more than anything in this world could possibly even equate to, because this is different physics. This is different laws of physics. This is things you can't imagine. So, no, everybody's earning their piece. Everybody's getting their place in the kingdom. And we're proud of y'all. So one love, much respect. Let's come together. Let's get these words out there. Let's get these messages out there. Please follow me on social media. Please. There really is nothing more